All right, hello and welcome to my stream. Tonight I'm going to be playing Final Girl, hello, which is a tabletop game, obviously, so not a video game. So I've been playing this game for, I don't know, what, a year or two maybe now? I don't remember when I first got it. But I've really been getting into it. It's been really fun. It's been interesting to kind of learn more about it. So I'm going to do my best to kind of show you what's going on here. I know with the camera angles, you can't really read everything, but we'll kind of dive into it. So this is a single player, which is kind of cool, survival horror game where you play as the final girl, which is like a horror movie trope. If you watch a lot of horror movies, there's usually one girl at the end, you know, out of the group of friends, group of teenagers, college kids, whatever, who survives the horror movie. She either, you know, escapes or faces off with the killer at the end. So, you know, think of like your Nancy in Nightmare on Elm Street or Sidney Prescott in Scream, that type of character. So that's who you play as. The game comes with a core box that has kind of all the core elements, and then you add on kind of your killer, your final girl characters, and then they play within that rule set and adding kind of different twists based on the theme of each killer. So today I'm going to be playing with Hans the Butcher. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit on Hans. So Hans the Butcher, he's got this beautiful pig mask, and he's carrying a sledgehammer. So he's a pretty simple killer, I would say, as far as they go. I've got a couple other boxes that kind of get more advanced. So the more you play and kind of learn the strategy and stuff, you can work up to more advanced killers. So I'm going back to Hans for this because he's a little bit simpler, so I figured he would be easiest to stream with. So I will do a quick overview of the components of the game here, and we'll dive into some gameplay. So I've already got everything set up. The setup takes a while, so I got that out of the way. Basically, we have this card, which is our this has our horror meter, our time meter, and our phases. So the game each turn goes through a variety of phases. So we start with our action phase, which is the final girl's turn. Basically, she's going to play some actions, perform actions, whatever results from that. Then there's a planning phase, which is kind of similar to like your buying phase. If you're familiar with, you know, games like Dominion and things like that. I'll zoom in on our tableau. These are the action cards that you can buy during the planning phase, kind of planning your next move sort of thing, and then you execute those actions during the subsequent turns action phase. So we'll talk more about that when we get into the gameplay. The horror level, which is this meter around here, we've got this killer kind of meeple guy. You can see my little kind of stick figure restroom sign looking guy. He tells us what level the horror meter's at. It starts on 4. That dictates how many dice you get to roll when you're performing a roll. This game is very much dice based. So we start at 4. The horror level can go up or down. If it goes down, we get more dice. Things are going our way a little bit more in that case. If the horror level gets really scary, you get down to 1 dice, which is not good. So we'll keep an eye on how that fluctuates throughout the game. You also have time, this little tiny hourglass thing. I got to get my meteorologist rights and lefts correct here, but this hourglass will track how much time you have. Time is basically your currency, so the more time you have, the more you can spend on planning cards. If you run out of time, your turn ends, that sort of thing. So we'll keep track of our time meter as we go along. Final Girl's HP, we are playing with Lori. There are multiple Final Girl characters, but we're going to play with Lori. I'll show you her a little bit. So this is Lori. She's very shiny. Lori starts with 5 HP. And if Lori is able to save any victims throughout the game, you can plug them into these slots on her card and kind of get these perks, which include, decreasing the horror level, increasing your time, increasing your HP, things like that. If Lori's able to save all 6 victims, she gets flipped over and she gets an additional attribute, which basically adds additional damage to when she is attacking. So Lori's pretty cool. So we're going to keep her right there. So she starts with 5 HP. You'll notice I have 4 hearts here, and then there's one token up here called the final health token. That one, if I lose all of my HP, the final health token gets revealed, and that is either going to be empty, which means I die, or there might be an extra health in there, which is basically like kind of coming back for one last hurrah, which is another trope you see in horror movies a lot of the times. You think they're dead, but they've still got some juice left in them. So we don't know what's on the other side of that token. It'll get revealed if we get down to that point. So that's pretty cool. We also have a backpack here, and you can't really see the icon, but these are hands, bloody handprints. So I can hold items in my hands, and I can keep items in my backpack, and I can switch what's in my backpack, what's in my hands. So we'll get into items a little bit throughout the game. Basically, there's items that are two-handed, so maybe like a baseball bat takes up both your hands. There's also one-handed items. You can hold 2 one-handed items. So let's talk about the setup a little bit and get over here. So this box, which includes Hans the Butcher, and then our environment, which is Camp Happy Trails, very Friday the 13th-ish. We're at a camp, there's a lake, bunch of teenagers hanging out, doing things they shouldn't be doing, that sort of stuff. So I already have this set up. When you initially set up the game, you have these setup cards. Setup. And they kind of tell you how to configure things. So I've already done that piece. And this configuration is called the bonfire. So at the campsite, there's a bonfire here on the map, and there's 6 victims hanging out at the bonfire. We've got a couple people chilling in these kind of adjacent spaces there. There's a space up here called Makeout Point. That's kind of like a cliff with a little car that's parked up there. We've got two teenagers hanging out up there. And then our killer is up here in the northwest corner, and our final girl's hanging out down here in the southeast. So that's how the game's going to start, and then we're going to move around the board and kind of see what happens here. So you can kind of see there's different spaces here on the board. We're going to move around through those spaces. There are 3 exit spaces. This one down here, it's got a green border. I don't know if you can really see that, but this is an exit from the camp. There's also an exit here in the top and the middle, and in the bottom left, we've got an exit here as well. If I'm able to bring any victims to those exits, they escape, they're saved, I get perks, everybody's happy. There are also 3 searchable spaces on the map: the dock, the utility shed, and the cabins. If I'm in one of those spaces and I have a search action card, I can perform a search in that location and I can gain an item. There's some items up here. We flip over as part of the setup the top card on the item decks. This one's for the cabins, this is for the docks, and this is for the utility shed. So we can kind of see what's there for items right now, which kind of helps us decide, which location I want to go to and search if I really want one of these items. So we have a first aid kit, which every time you use an action card to recover health, you get to recover an additional health. So that's pretty useful. There's also a lucky rabbit's foot, which during the action phase, when you're doing a horror roll, you can choose an additional perk, I guess, increasing time, increasing health, decreasing the horror level, moving extra spaces, those types of things. So it just kind of gives you a little bit of a boost. And there's also a map, which I actually haven't encountered this before. Discard during the action phase, and then for each deck of item cards, do one of the following. If the card is face down, reveal it. If the card is face up, you may remove it from the game and reveal the next card. Okay, so that's just kind of interesting. We'll talk more about items when we actually get there, but I just wanted to kind of show you those cards since they're kind of small. But we kind of have an idea of what's out there for items, so that's pretty cool. Let's talk about Hans, our killer, the star of the show. So he's pretty beefy. He has 12 HP, which is pretty high. He's kind of an interesting killer. He's not very agile. He does not really move around too much, but he will. He starts off kind of slow. So for the killer board, this is kind of his meter. He has what's called Bloodlust, which sounds very Dead by Daylight. Is that the name of that game? I haven't played it in so long. But his Bloodlust meter, as the killer kills victims, Bloodlust meter increases. That's going to increase his movement speed, his attack power. It's also going to increase the horror level throughout the game. So this meter over here, which is going to, affect how many dice we're able to roll. So we don't want him increasing the horror level, but it will happen as victims get killed. He also can reveal what's called a dark power, and there's cards here that I don't know what's on the other side of them. If these get flipped over, he gets additional attributes. He can get additional HP, things like that we don't want happening. As the game progresses, we will be, let's take a look. Where can I see my... there's events and terror cards over here. So the killer will flip these terror cards, and those will reveal some sort of action or happening. Some terror cards will also include a minor dark power. So again, those are kind of power-ups for the killer, which we don't really want him to get, but happens. And then there's events that will get triggered periodically throughout the game, and those can be all kinds of things. Let's talk about the cards a little bit. So these are action cards for the final girl to play. There are a bunch of action cards that do not cost anything, so this is kind of like your starting hand. Basic things like walking around, you get a weak attack, a short rest to, regain some health when you need it, that sort of thing. So we start with these cards in our hand. You can have up to 10 cards, and this is 6 that you start with. So that's our starting hand. I'm going to put those over here. When we get to our planning phase and we can start buying more cards, it tells you how much time they cost. So again, time kind of works like a currency. The more time you have, the more kind of like planning you can do, I guess, is the logic behind that. So lots of great cards in here. There's things where you can guard an attack from the killer. You can reduce damage that's taken from the killer. You can retaliate and deal back damage when you get damaged. You can distract the killer. You can improvise, which kind of increases your chances of getting a better roll. And you can search. There's a search card in here. So if you want to search one of those, the tool shed or the dock or something for an item, you have to have that search card in hand. So we'll definitely need to do some planning and figure out what cards we want to buy, depending on how much time we have. So that's that. I think I've pretty much reviewed all of those components. We'll obviously get into more detail as we go through the game. I also like to keep the rule book handy. This game gets pretty involved, and I'm not like the most experienced tabletop player, so I do check the rule book frequently. But other than that, I think I'm ready to get started. Hopefully that wasn't too long of an overview. Feel free to jump in the chat if you've played this game before, if you're interested in playing it, or you have any questions. Keeping an eye on that. Prodigy Mini Golf said, "Don't die." Great advice. I'll try my best, and always check behind the doors. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit on my horror meter card, which I know you can't read, but this outlines the phases. And this game, you have to like really pay attention to what you're doing and keep track of like whose turn it is, because it's single player, right? I'm controlling the final girl. I'm also controlling the killer. There is kind of an order of operations. Final girl has her action phase and her planning phase, and then the killer has a phase where they're doing stuff. And then there's an upkeep phase where we're kind of turning everything over. The final girl can also react during the killer phase. So if the killer attacks the final girl, depending on what cards you have, you can, play a reaction to that attack. So then you're kind of jumping back into final girl mode and then finishing whatever the killer action is and going back through the cycle. So sometimes it can be difficult to like keep track of, okay, whose turn is it? Because final girl might be doing an action on the killer's turn, things like that. So I kind of came up with a way for myself to keep track of where I am in the order of the turn, basically. This little tiny token that looks like a pill, not for small children, I like to just put this on whatever stage of the round I'm currently in. That just kind of helps me keep track of where I am, because there's a lot to pay attention to. And when you're adding, dark powers and bloodlust and horror level and all of these things, there's a lot of status effects and things to keep track of, and if this then that. So gotta have a high attention level when you play this. Okay, I think we are ready. So it's actually been a little while since I've played this, and I haven't played this killer in a while because I've been playing a different one. That's a little more complicated and that I'm not comfortable playing with on stream yet. So we are going to get started with Final Girl, Camp Happy Trails, Hans the Butcher. All right, so we start with our action phase. Whoops. So I can play some action cards. Like I said, you start off with kind of this basic hand. We can walk. Focus is a great card. I'll show you this one. Focus reduces the horror level. I love keeping the horror level as low as possible. If you can get it into this sweet spot where you get 3 dice, that is like so money. And anything you can do to stop it from getting too high throughout the game, the killer will increase this. So even if I don't get it all the way down to 1, if I keep it in the 2 or 3 range, it's less likely to get all the way up here. So I like to start with focus. We obviously aren't going to attack yet because I'm nowhere near the killer. You have to be in the same space as the killer to attack him, so I don't really need that. Short rest recovers HP. I can't go above my max HP, and that's where I start, so that's not going to help me at all. So I am going to play focus. You can play any number of action cards on your turn in any order, whatever. Once you play them, they get discarded and then eventually returned to the tableau, or you can repurchase them. So we are going to play focus. I'm going to set that right there. I currently get 2 dice, so let's give those a roll, and we'll talk about the dice too, because they're kind of interesting. Okay, perfect. So with the dice, anytime you roll a star, I don't know if I can zoom in on the dice. I don't think I do, which is fine. Anytime you get a star, which is a 5 or 6, that's a success. If you get a 3 or a 4, that is what's called a partial success, and you can discard 2 cards to change this dice to a star. Very important tactic, especially in the beginning of the game when I have all these cards that I don't really need to use. So I got 1 success and 1 partial success. So what that means for the focus card, if I have no success, so if I rolled like 2 1s or something, I lose time. And that's it. Not ideal. 1 success, I get to bring the horror level down by 1, but I also lose 1 time. If I get a double success, bring the horror level down, which is our goal with this card, but I gain 2 time. So I am going to do that. I'm going to discard 2 cards. I'm going to discard my short rest and my weak attack because I don't need those. So I'm going to plop those right here in my little makeshift discard pile. We're going to change our partial success to a success. We now have a double success. So with the focus card that I use, I have another one in my hand, we get to reduce the horror level by 1, so that's now on 3, which is great, and we gain 2 time. So your time starts at 6 at the beginning of each round, so we're going to increase that to 8. All right, so that was pretty cool. I can continue to play action cards as long as I want to for my turn until my turn ends or until I run out of stuff to do. I am going to use my other focus card in my hand and see if we can decrease that horror level even more, because why not? So we're going to give these another roll. Pretty much got the same thing, 1 success and 1 partial success. So now these are the 3 cards I have left. I can choose to discard my 2 walk cards to make this a full success, or I can keep it as 1 success, and we'll just go with that. I think I'm going to do that. I would like to walk around a little bit. So we're going to go with a partial success on the focus. So we still get to bring our horror level down by 1. So we're on 2 now, which is great. And I lose 1 time. So we're going back down to 7. So not bad. I'm still in better shape than when we first started. So that's pretty good. All right, so now I'm going to play my walk card. So we're going to do another roll with our 2 dice. I still have 2 dice. Final girl, hype. So hype. Hopefully we don't die, but we'll see. All right, so we're walking. I have 1 success and 1 partial success. What does that mean? Partial, well, okay, 1 star, I get to move up to 1 space and I lose 1 time. 2 stars, I get to move up to 2 spaces and still lose 1 time. Takes time to walk around. The risky thing about this card is if you get no success whatsoever, you actually lose health. I know, right? You can hurt yourself walking. Who knew? If you still move up to 1 space, you lose a health and you lose 2 time, or if you don't move at all, you just lose time. So you don't have to injure yourself, but you don't really get to do anything. So anyway, we got 1 star, so I can move up to 1 space. I don't have 2 cards to discard, so I can't change my partial success to a success. So we're gonna go with 1 star, move 1 space, lose 1 time. All right, let me move the time to get that out of the way. I'm gonna discard this, and then move 1 space. So where do we wanna move? So let's zoom in on our little map guy, Camp Happy Trails. So my final girl is right here. She's the pink one. Oh my God, pink meeple. Okay, great. This is where we started because of our setup card. So I'm gonna move towards the victims because I ultimately wanna save them, right? So what do I get to move 1 space? So basically we're gonna go from here to here. Perfect. Technically I still have 1 more walk card. I can try to walk another space and go hang out with this guy. I think I'm gonna do that. I might as well. Give it another roll here. Okay, so this isn't great. I got 2 partial successes. I don't have any cards to discard, so this is gonna be a failed roll. So my options are I can still move a space, but I'm gonna hurt myself doing so, lose 2 time, or I can stay put and lose 2 time. I really don't wanna risk HP this early in the game, so I'm just gonna sit here and twiddle my thumbs and lose 2 time. All right, perfect. So now I'm out of cards, can't play any more actions, so we're gonna move on. So I'm gonna do my planning phase. I'm moving this little token, and this is my own devising to keep myself on track. We're moving to our planning phase. Purchase action cards, reset time to 6, and return played action cards to Tableau. So first thing we're going to do is purchase action cards. I cannot purchase any of the cards I just played, which is like these 6 cards. So we're going to set those aside for right now so we don't get them confused. Let's take a look at our Tableau. And again, I know you can't really read this, but we'll go through it a little bit. Sandra May Cry says, have you ever saved all the survivors on this map? I don't think I've ever saved all the survivors. I have, So with the Final Girl card, you get, once you save a certain number of victims, you get to flip it over and you get an additional attribute. I have done that a couple of times. I don't know if I've ever done it with Lori, but I've done it with, there's another one named Reiko that I've definitely saved those many victims. But I have not ever saved all the victims, no. Yeah, killer usually gets to them. A lot of times there's events that will also introduce more victims, so you know, that can kind of screw you up if you've saved a lot of victims and then they're like, here, have some more. But you know, we do our best. Okay. So planning phase, do they deserve it? See, that's the question, and that's, you know, I mean, Hans chooses, you know, what victim he goes after. So he's the judgment call on that. Okay, so I have 4 time to spend on my Tableau here. So I am looking at the sprint card that will allow me to move 1, 2, or 3 spaces. That costs 2 time. I kind of also want to try to either decrease the horror level or do something with that. Can't really afford all of those things. And I do want to move around because I want to try to save some of these victims. Ooh, I can search too. All right, let's get a sprint and a search. Those are each worth 2. So we're spending my 4 time, out of time. These are going to go in my hand, which I'm putting over here. The cards that I discarded in the last round get returned to the tableau. These are the starter cards that don't cost any time, so I just kind of keep them in their own pile. I can scoop those up in the next planning phase, no problem. And then we return our time to 6 for the next round. So that's our planning phase. Now we get to move on to the killer phase. But first, hydration. Okay, let's see. Killer phase. Okay, so the killer phase is a little bit different. Each killer comes with their own kind of set of actions, and we'll show you that a little bit here. So Hans, I'm going to pick this up without flipping it over because I'm not supposed to see what's on the other side of it. So these are his sequence of actions. This first icon, I don't know if you can really see it. There's a victim meeple, and then this smiling person behind it is the final girl. So Hans, the first thing a killer does is they target somebody, right? They need a target to go after. Is it the final girl? Is it a victim? Who knows? According to the rules, the killer is supposed to target a victim before the final girl. If there's no victims, they're going to target the final girl. But if this icon has a victim and the final girl, he can really choose either, but the guidelines is that he goes towards a victim first. So he's going to target the victim that's closest to him. And then the way his sequence works is he targets somebody and then he attacks them. He does not move in his initial sequence, which is kind of interesting. So unless the killer is in the same space as a victim, he can't attack you. So Hans is a little bit interesting in that respect, that he doesn't really move around. There's no victims in his spot. There's nobody for him to attack. So he's not really going to do anything right now. There are terror cards that the killer will draw that will that may allow him to move. So kind of weird. So during the killer phase, the first thing you do is resolve the killer action, which is this up here. So again, target somebody, attack them. There's nobody around. So we don't really do anything with that. And then the second part of the killer phase is drawing the terror card. So we're going to go ahead and draw a terror card, and hopefully it's a good one. Oh my God, why? I hate this. Okay, so we drew a minor dark power. Not ideal, but whatever. We'll get it out of the way early in the game. So this is Unholy Rage. So Hans does an additional damage for each attack, and he also gains 2 HP. So these 2 little hearts on the bottom of this card, I'm going to set this right here above him. Those are extra slots for hearts. Because we love killers. So we're going to give him some extra hearts. If I can get the bag open. So he now has 14 HP. Disgusting. If we attack the killer and he takes damage, you take these 2 hit points first. If he loses those hit points, he loses that power. Okay? So that's basically the end of the first killer phase. This killer starts off very slowly. We did our killer action, which was nothing, and then we did our terror card. So that's basically it. So now we can move on to what's called the panic phase. This phase honestly doesn't get enacted all that often. Basically, if a victim was killed this round, the other victims panic. What that means is that if there are remaining victims in the same space as the killer, they're gonna run. It's kind of a unique situation to have. Usually if there's multiple victims in the killer's space, the killer's either gonna kill all all of them, or you're just only going to have one victim in the same space as the killer. But if there's multiple victims and he only kills some of them, whatever victims are left, they panic. The mechanic for panicking is pretty cool. Like I said, it doesn't happen too often, but basically what happens is if there's victims in that space, you roll a dice for each victim, and depending on what the number is, that victim's going to go in a different direction. So the map, which I'm already zoomed in on as much as I can be, you can't see it, but the spaces on the map have numbers in all the directions that you can go, and that's basically what dictates, what you roll on the dice. That victim would go that direction. So we'll see if we get to actually see that in action. Like I said, it doesn't really happen all that often, which is kind of disappointing, because it's cool to kind of move everybody around. So I'm basically going to skip the panic phase. We don't need to do it. Nobody died. We're doing pretty good so far. So panic phase. We are going to move on to what's called the upkeep phase. This one I don't really need to do a lot either. Basically, during the upkeep phase, if all of the terror cards have been gone through, you would then reveal the finale, which is this card. I have not had that happen very often, maybe once. We don't want that to happen. That's very towards the end of the game. And then I get to rearrange my items. I don't have any items. This is where if I had something in my backpack, something in my hands, and wanted to, move those things around, you can only do that during the upkeep phase. So it's good to plan that out because, you can't change what you're holding during your action phase. So if you've got something in your backpack that you want to use, too bad, tough cookies. Got to wait till the upkeep phase to rearrange your equipment. All right, so we're going to go back into the action phase. And once I've gone through a couple rounds, I'll stop over-explaining everything. So, okay, back to the action phase. Back to the final girl. So I can play action cards. I have 2 here. I've got Sprint and Search. This is kind of dumb. So I'm going to use Sprint, and we're going to see where that gets me. Let's roll and see what happens. And then we'll decide what we want to do. Rolling. All right. So I have 1 star and 1 partial success. I can discard 2 cards if I want to change my partial success, but I only have 1 card, so we're not going to do that. 1 star. I can move up to 1 really shiny space. Move up to 2 spaces and lose 1 time. So I can move up to 2 spaces. I don't have to move 2 spaces, but I can. I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to move, let's take a closer look here at the map. I'm going to move my final girl, which is here. She's in this space. I'm going to go here, pick up this victim. So victims can follow you from one space to the next. I'm going to take this victim with me and we're going to go up here. So I brought that victim into this space. There's now 2 victims in that space. Up to 2 victims can follow you. That's really important. I forgot that up until recently, and the first 7 times I played this game, I was only taking 1 victim with me. But you can save 2 victims at a time, which is very important. Okay, so that was Sprint, so I'm going to go ahead and discard that. The only other card I have is Search. Can't use that because I'm not in a searchable space right now, so I'm going to have to end my turn here, which is fine. I got some friends. We're hanging out by the lake. It's all good. We don't even know that there's a killer here yet. Okay, great. So that was our action phase. We're going to move on to our planning phase. I still have 6 time. I didn't gain or lose any time, so we've got our 6 that we start with. So what do we want to buy? I already have a search card. I need to move around. I'm going to take my 0 cost cards back. There are 6 of these. Max hand size is 10. So 6 plus my 1 search card, that is 7. I have room for 3 more cards. I have 6 time. Let's buy something good. I have 6. Card search critical planning. What do I want to do with my life? I will take an improvise card, which basically just increases your chances for your next roll. That costs 3, so we're gonna go down from 6 to 3 on the time. I still have 3. So I can buy any of these in the bottom row. I have these sorted by how much they cost. I'm gonna get another search. I know I have one, but I think I'm gonna be using them a lot, and then that'll leave me with one more time. I'm gonna get this close call card. I love this card. You can basically use this to re-roll a dice or die. So put that in our hand. That is all the time we have for planning. So we're gonna move on to the next phase. Which is the killer phase. So let's see what Hans is going to get up to this turn. So step 1, we resolve the killer action. Target a victim, attack the victim. Can't move. Nobody to attack. So we are going to draw the next terror card. This one says he kept swinging his hammer and killing and killing. Well, he hasn't killed anybody yet. If there are no victims on the board, discard this card and draw the next terror card. Well, we definitely still have victims. So otherwise, we are going to target a victim, move, attack, and then target another victim, move, attack. So now he's on the move. So let's reference our killer board. Right now, because the bloodlust level is at 0, he hasn't killed anybody, so bloodlust isn't pumping yet. His attack is 2 damage and his movement speed is 1. So what this card basically means, we're gonna target a victim. I need to determine who's closest. It's okay, so it's definitely not these people. They're only accessible from like this route, so they're pretty far. He can go, it's really the space where I'm standing is closest. That is 1, 2 movement spaces away from the killer. So he's gonna target this victim and he's going to move towards that victim. My movement is only 1. So we're moving 1 space. The next action is attack. Can't attack, there's nobody in my space. So we're gonna move down to the bottom row on this card. Again, we're gonna target a victim. This guy right here, move 1, and now we're going to attack. Sorry, guy. So when the killer attacks a victim, victim dies. Victims don't really have HP or whatever. They get attacked, they die. Loop-de-loo. Oh, this other one fainted. All right. So, 1 victim down. He's gonna go in the dead victim section. So there you go. Guess we're not saving everybody. Just won a game against Big Bad Wolf, says Dragon Dude. That is awesome. I don't have that killer, but I think I've seen it in stores. That's pretty cool. Congratulations. Let's see. All right, so that victim died. So that's basically it for that killer phase. Oh wait, now when a victim dies, you have to increase the bloodlust. See, this is what I'm talking about. So that increased, doesn't really change anything. His attack is still 2. His movement speed is still 1. We're not increasing the horror level yet until he gets up to the next level. So status quo for right now. There is a victim in this space, so we get to do the panic phase. So I know I said that doesn't happen very often, but we get to see it in action right here, folks. So that poor little victim is super freaked out. He just watched his friend get killed in front of him. We're gonna do a roll to see where that victim is gonna run off to. I rolled a 1. According to the map, he's gonna go this way. So he's screaming and running over there. Still only 1 space away from the killer, so I don't know how well that's going to work out for you. And then these kids are still just chilling by the campfire. They have no idea what's going on. All right, so that was our panic phase. We are good with that. Next is the upkeep phase. Don't really need to do anything with that. So we're going to roll right into our action phase. So Lori, let's see. So now I'm standing in the same space as the killer. This is a pretty precarious position to be in. It kind of changed my plans. All I wanted to do was save victims and like rummage for items, but no, there's a killer in my face. So what are we gonna do? Sorry, I'm rearranging my hand. All right, I don't need to rest and I don't need to search, so I'm putting those aside for right now. All right, I'm going to use focus and see if I can get this horror level down and either get myself another dice or keep it from increasing, because now that he's killing people, that horror level is going to go up. It's a was that season 2 killer? Yeah, I have no idea. I'm sure Hans is season 1. He's pretty early, or series 1. Yeah, I have Hans. I have Dr. Fright, who I have played, and then I just got the Intruders and the what's he called? The organism. Those look a little crazy. Haven't played those yet. But yeah, there's a lot of killers, so I'm looking forward to continuing to expand my collection here. So, all right, we're gonna do focus, work on this horror level. 2 dice. I got 1 success and 1, which is nothing. Can't change it. Can't do anything about it. So 1 success is fine. We're gonna reduce the horror level by 1 and lose 1 time. Fine with me. I think I didn't return my sprint card to the tableau in the last planning phase, and I think I was supposed to do that. All right, I'm starting a new discard pile with the focus card. So that's fine. I don't really need to do that again. I can, but I'm just going to leave it there. So now I get 3 dice, which is great. So I'm in the same space as the killer. We're just hanging out, talking, whatever. I am going to... All right. I'm not going to use my improvise card. I'm going to save that. I'm going to do weak attack and see what we get. I do also have close call, so if weak attack fails, I can use this to re-roll. But I have 3 dice, so I think my chances are pretty good. And I don't have any weapons. Oop, this dude fell over. I don't even know where that person came from. Oh, that's the other make-out point person. I knocked something over earlier, and the victim's all kind of freaked out. Okay. What am I doing? Weak attack. I only deal 1 damage right now because I don't have any weapons or anything cool, so we're just going to kind of slap him. 3 dice. Beautiful. I got 1 star. I can fix that, which I probably will. I'm just going to go ahead and discard my other focus and one of my walk cards to change one of my partial successes to a success, because I want 2 stars for our weak attack. That is going to give us dealing 1 damage to the killer. I don't take any recoil damage on that. So killer, you're getting 1 damage. So let's zoom in on Hans here. We're going to take 1 of these hearts. If I get rid of the other one, he loses his minor dark power. Okay. So that's cool. I can still play action cards, which I think I'm going to move my tail, because I don't want him attacking me, especially while he has Unholy Rage. So I'm going to roll again, and we are going to mosey. Just going to slap him and walk away. That is a horrible roll. I got 2 nothings and 1 partial success. I am going to spend my close call. Why do I only have 5 time? That doesn't even make sense. I probably should have 6. Reroll all dice for 2. Yeah, I think I'm just going to re-roll all. Technically, if I get a partial success and want to discard, I can, because I have these other 2 cards. I'd rather not discard them, but we're going to go with close call and just re-roll the whole thing and hope for a better outcome. Okay. What am I doing? Walking. I did get 1 star, so I can move. Oh, I didn't spend my time for that. Let's do that. I can move 1 space and lose 1 time. I think I'm going to do that. I'm not gonna discard or anything, so I'm gonna move myself. I'm gonna follow this little victim that panicked. The Little Victim That Panicked. That sounds like a children's book. Okay, discard my walk card. So that was kind of complicated. We attacked the killer, and now we're running away. I still have my improvised card. Oh, I forgot I have these cards that I could have discarded. See what I mean, man? So unorganized. What I really need is a play mat for this. I would love for somebody to invent a play mat. I'm sure there's one out there on Etsy or something so I can keep my stuff organized. All right, I'm going to end my turn there. So let's move on to the planning phase, because that was a lot. Chat says, I got some Final Little franchise boxes for Christmas. Hell yeah. Dr. Frightmare, oh my god. I've been playing with him a lot. He's basically Freddy Krueger, but he's really interesting. I don't know if you've played him yet. Geppetto, I haven't seen. Wolf, and you'll get Evomorph when it gets here in the mail. Hell yeah, that's a lot of boxes, man. That's great. Yeah, Dr. Frightmare on Maple Lane. It's on their website on $30 for the play. Oh, they have a playmat on their website. That is great information. Thank you so much for sharing that. I will definitely check that out. Oh my god, I'm so excited. It would be great to have an official one too. Yeah, Dr. Fright is really interesting. I don't know if you've looked at the box yet or if you've played it, but he has a really weird, like, asleep, awake mechanic. I don't really fully understand the strategy with that one yet. I've only played it a couple of times. I think the last time I played it, I won. I wasn't really sure. So I will probably stream that one eventually because it's really interesting. I just need to get a little more confident with it. But that's really rad that you have all of those boxes. All right, so I'm doing my planning phase. I have 4... time. No, that doesn't sound right at all. I should only have 3. So I started with 6. I spent 2 when I did the close call card. And then I lost a time when I walked. Right? This is why I need a spotter. And more hydration. You and your sister beat him with Sheila? Heck yeah. And Nancy? Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. It's a good time for sure. All right. So I have 3 time to spend. What do I want to do with my life? Let's take a look at the shop down here. I still have a lot of cards in my hand. I've got short rest, improvise, and search. So I'm gonna get a sprint because I don't have any movement cards right now. Oh, I only have 3. The killer's pretty close, so I might want to get a guard. And I think, do I have any walk cards? I don't. I think I discarded one. So 3. Yeah, I'm gonna get a guard and I guess another close call. Ooh. So that's gonna spend all my time. And now we want to return the discarded cards to the tableau. I think I forgot to do that last time. So there's my walk card, my close call, weak attack, walk, focus. Don't cost anything. I'll pick those up next round, but now they're back in play. Crazy. All right, and then we refill our time back up to 6. Yes. Here we go. All right, super. Planning phase is over. Killer phase. Oh my god. Hans. So he is by himself in this little spot right here, chilling by the lake, checking it out. So he's not going to attack anybody because there's nobody around, but we're going to draw a tarot card and see what is going to happen. Horrific Hammer Rush. If there are no victims on the board, discard and draw the next card. Otherwise, target a victim, move twice, attack twice. Why would you do that? Also, for each victim killed during this attack, we're going to increase the horror level. All right, there's going to be a lot of math here. So here's the thing. So he has to target a victim, and we have to go to the victim that's closest. So he's got 2 adjacent spaces. We've got the fire pit here with 6 victims, and then this space that has a victim and the final girl. Which space does the killer go to? I don't know. Rules are a little ambiguous in this situation. He actually gets to move twice. but he doesn't really need to because we're all one space away. Should we go for the campfire kids, or should he follow the final girl and her pet victim? I'm gonna go to the fire pit, and we're gonna cause a scene. Because whatever of these people over here survive are gonna panic, and it's gonna be mayhem. So, Killer is now in the fire pit. Everyone's freaking out. He gets to attack twice, which is crazy. I'm gonna put that over there. So we're gonna attack one victim, boom, you're dead. Attack another victim, boom, you're dead. Super. Couple of things compounding here. Each time he kills a victim, bloodlust meter goes up by 1. We're gonna do this in steps. We went up 1, horror level goes up by 1. Second victim, killed them, no change to the horror level. Because of this, for each victim killed during this attack, we increase the horror level again. So we killed 2 victims, horror level. Where is it? Show me the horror level. It's getting crazy. So we're gonna increase it 2 more again. We're back up to 4, which is where we started. So that's not that bad all in all. Those focus cards that I played earlier in the game that brought me down to 1 helped a lot. Okay. That was complicated. Now we get to do the panic phase. There are 4 victims in this space. Oh, I'm also losing a dice for myself now. Let's go back to the map. All right, Killer's hanging out with 4 kids at the campfire. They're losing their minds. We're gonna panic. I like to roll a dice for each victim and have them all go in different directions. I don't know if you're supposed to do that or if you just roll 1 dice and all the victims go that direction, but I like to make it chaotic. So let's do a couple rolls here. Victim number 1, you are going to number 6, which means you're going over here. Victim number 2, you're taking a 5, which means you're going over here. Come with me. Victim number 3 gets a 4. Sounds like they stay put. No, we've got 2 to 5 and 6. If they roll a 1, they stay put. So you rolled a 4, so you're gonna go over here. Good choice. And final victim, you rolled a 6. You're going this way. All right. Victims have panicked. We're moving on to the upkeep phase. Check to make sure we still have terror cards left. Rearrange equipment in our backpack. None of that applies. Okay. Getting hairy. Action phase. My turn. Final girl. All right. So I'm hanging out with these 3 victims. I'm next to an exit space. I would like to... Oh my god, do I not have any movement cards? What have I done to myself? Yeah, I can't move. I don't have any cards that will allow me to move. Let's zoom out. Because I would like to bring these victims to the exit. That ain't gonna happen. I can't really do anything. I have search cards, but I'm not in a search spot. I don't need to rest because I still have all my HP. So I can't really do any actions, which kind of bums me out, but it's all right. Do I have a focus? I don't even have anything to reduce the horror level. I have things that'll increase it. All right, so we're not going to take any actions this turn, I guess. So I'm going to go right into my planning phase, which is fine because I have 6 times. So we're going to buy some stuff. Actually, I want to take back my starting cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Max hand size is 10. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. That is too many cards. I will take... This is tough, you guys. Why do I have so many searches? God. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can pick up 4 cards. And I have 6 time. I definitely want to walk. I could sprint, though. So I want my focus cards back. Because I want to get that horror level back down. I might take my weak attack. I have guard though, so maybe I won't take that one. I'm gonna buy sprint, so that's 2 time, 3 cards. I can fit 1 more card in my hand, and I have 4 time. I'm gonna take the planning card. I don't use this card enough. This card, if you can get lots of success with it, you can add 3 additional dice for your next roll, or 2 additional dice if you get 1 success. I think I didn't understand what this card meant when I started playing the game. So we're going to take the planning card, out of time, blah, 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 whatever. What was your starting event? Do you mean, oh my God, you're totally right. I didn't draw an event when I started. I forgot about that part of the setup. Yeah, you're supposed to draw an event. Good call. I will probably just draw one. At some point, maybe after the next killer phase, just to catch myself up on that. Yeah, sorry about that. My goodness. That's what I get for not looking at the rules when I set this up. Okay, so planning phase is done. I'm going to return my time. My discarded cards get returned to the tableau. I didn't discard any cards that round because I didn't really have anything that I could play. Killer phase, easy to forget. There's so much with the setup with this game, I swear to God. But yeah, thank you for reminding me about that. I'm just gonna flip one now. We're about to go into the killer phase, so let's just create some chaos. Oh God, I hope it's something easy. Please be something easy. Oh. This probably would have changed things, but it's okay. We'll do this going forward. So, meteorologist. Whenever exactly 2 victims are in a space and one of them is killed, the other immediately dies as well. I think we did have that situation earlier where there were at least 2 victims in a space with the killer and one died and one panicked. So if I had drawn this at the beginning of the game, that victim would have died. I'm not going to go back and change that because there's just too many butterfly effects there. But I will keep this event active and we will use that going forward. So thank you. Let's go into the killer phase. Okay, so killer is by himself, resolving the killer action. He's attacking, there's nobody around, so he's just flailing his knife in thin air. And then we're gonna draw a terror card. Let's go see if the rumors are true. I hate this card. Place 2 new victims in the space where the killer started the game. Let me get my little bag of victims. Place 2 where the killer started the game. So according to our setup card here, the killer started in the northwest corner. So these 2 people showed up, they heard screaming, they want to know what it's all about. We're also going to increase the horror level, which doesn't really affect anything right now. And then we're going to draw another event. This one says, girlfriend. She's cute, funny, and the biggest badass I've ever known. The victim closest to you is now your girlfriend. She will follow you into the killer's space. While she is in your space, roll an additional die for each horror roll. I like that. If the girlfriend dies while in your space, look at all those hockey masks. That means if she dies in our space, we have to increase the horror level by 5. Is that what that means? That's not even possible. I don't like this. Girlfriend. Blech. Apparently the girlfriend is the white meeple. So we're gonna change out the victim that's hanging out with me to the girlfriend. So Lori now has a girlfriend, which is cool. She will follow you into the killer's space. Yeah, I think normally if a victim's following you, they don't follow you into the killer's space, which I guess makes sense. They're like, nah, girl. But the girlfriend sticks with you. So I'm going to keep this near me so I can read it because I'm going to forget that this is out there. I've not had this card before. While she is in your space, roll 1 die. Like, when would she not be in your space? I don't really understand that. And then it says if the girlfriend dies while in your space. So she can not be in your space. I guess you don't have to have her follow you, but it says she will follow you into the killer's space. I don't really understand this, but we're gonna see how it works out. Okay. Whoa. So that's the killer phase. He didn't kill anybody. So we're gonna go to the panic phase. Didn't kill anybody. Nobody's panicking. Upkeep phase. I don't really need to do anything. We're gonna go back into the action phase. This is craziness. I would like. Can I save the girlfriend? Like, is she a victim? Can I just rescue her? It says if she leaves play, discard this card. Whatever. I want to save the other victims, but I'm gonna do some focus first. Maybe I'll improvise. And if I can get around to it, I'd also like to search. All right, great. Here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna improvise. This will increase my, she's still a victim. Okay, so I can still save her. Some tarot card says nearby victim move to killer, which can pull special victims. Okay, cool. This is crazy. All right, let's improvise. I only have 2 dice. Ugh. I got 1 star. I'd like to have 2. Do I want to discard anything? I think I'm going to discard one of my search cards and my short rest. I don't need that yet. And I don't think I'm going to be searching twice on this turn. So we're going to oh wait, no, I don't even have a partial success. Damn. Never mind. So my only option with this is 1 star, which is fine. For the next horror roll only, all 3s and 4s are successes. So we're going to discard that. So my next roll... I want to use planning, or do I want to use focus? Blah. For the next horror roll, I'm going to use 3 additional dice. For the next horror roll. I mean, I might as well, right? Oh my god, you have 3 dice right now because you... He's like, you have girlfriend. I get an additional dice while she's in your space. This is what I mean. Like, there's so much to keep track of with this game. Like, I don't know these things. All right, so I guess I'll roll 1 more dice and see what happens if it changes the outcome of that improvise. I need someone here to be, like, reading my chat. So I did roll a star. Thank you, girlfriend. So my improvise is actually, until this action phase ends, all 3s and 4s are successes. So we will move forward with that. Somebody give this guy, like, a gold star or something. Keeping me on track somewhat. But it sounds like you've played the game a lot too, so I'm hoping you can empathize with my lack of organization. All right. So technically I have 3 dice, apparently. And I have improvise now as well, so all 3s and 4s are successes. So what are we gonna do next? Let's see. Can I just walk? I don't really want to sprint. I don't have any walks. I should do my focus though. Sprint, search, close call, guard, search, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, let's do focus. So we're going to do 3 dice. All 3s and 4s are successes. You can't type. I'm still picking up what you're putting down though, so it's all good. So we're going to do focus, 3 dice. All 3s and 4s are successes. I got 1 4, so that's a success. I already had a 5, so that's 2 success. So focus, we're going to go horror level down 1, boop, time up to 8 time. All right, that's getting discarded. I'm putting it under the improvise card so I can remember that I have that. We're gonna do focus again. So I get to roll again, 3 dice, all 3s and 4s are successes. Did you guys see, literally nothing. Discard my focus card. Oh, bloody, bloody, blah. I'm gonna use close call because no. All right. Focus. Close call. I'm gonna re-roll all dice for 2 times. So let's spend my time. Close call. I'm re-rolling because that's just not acceptable. Gotta have my girlfriend kiss my dice first before I roll them. All right. So I got 1 success and 1 partial success. All 3s and 4s are successes because I did improvise. This is getting way too complicated, you guys. All right, so we're gonna take a full success on the focus. We get 2 time and lose 1 horror. Oh my God. Huh. All right, let's keep the party going. I am going to sprint. And what is he? Epic fail. That's happened to me with 4 dice. Yeah, it's pretty bad if you roll 4 dice and they're all 1s and 2s. Sometimes the luck in this game is just not there. All right, I'm gonna sprint. And I guess I'll ask this question since chat seems like they know what they're doing. So like if I sprint and I move more than 1 space, let me zoom in on my map here. So like I'm here, I've got a bunch of victims. This is an exit space, that's the dock. They're all connected. If I move multiple spaces, can I move 1 space to the exit space, shove some victims out the door, move my 2nd space over to the dock? I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Because if I can save a victim and do a search in this turn, that'll check off a lot of stuff from my to-do list. So that's what I'm going to attempt to execute. So I can take 2 victims with me into a space. I think I'm gonna try to take the 2 yellow victims. I'm gonna leave my girlfriend. I don't think she has to come with me. I'm not going to rescue her. I'm gonna keep her around for the extra dice. So I'm gonna use sprint. We've got 3 dice. All 3s and 4s are successes. Holy buckets. I got all 3s and 4s, so they're all successes, so we're flipping them to 6s. I don't need that many stars. I get to move up to 3 spaces and I'm losing 1 time, so we're gonna take care of that first. So we sprinting. Move up to 3 spaces. I'm gonna move 1 space, move my final girl to the exit space. I'm taking 2 victims with me, right? Because 2 victims can follow you. I haven't double checked the rules, but I remember reading that and being like, oh my God, are you serious? Let's take a look, because I haven't opened the rule book this entire time. Saving victims. When leaving a space containing 1 or more victims, you may take up to 2 victims with you. They're scared to death and will happily follow you. However, victims will not follow you into the space with the killer, so if you wish to move into the killer's space, you may not take any victims with you, except your girlfriend. Of course, if there are already victims in the space with the killer, you move out of that space. They will gladly follow you. If at any point during the action phase you are on a green exit space, even if passing through, there's my answer, any victims that are in that space may be saved, whether you brought them with you or they are already there. You don't have to save them, but you may if you decide to save them. Blah-de-blah perks. Rewards. Okay, perfect. That answered all my questions. So, I'm gonna save these 2 victims as I'm passing through the exit space. Said I can do that. Look, we saved them. Yay. Now I have to decide what perks I want. Let's take a look at our girl. So these are my perks. I don't need to increase my health at all. I don't really need to move a space because I technically have 2 movement left on this sprint card that I rolled. I would love to decrease the horror level. More time might be cool. Take an action card max 2. Max 2? That's not really helpful, or move a space. So let me get on my girl. So I'm definitely decreasing the horror level any chance I get. And then my other victim, I think I'm just going to increase my time by 2, which is going to give me 9, which is pretty darn good. So we saved 2 victims. Okay. I still have 2 movements on my sprint because I moved. Let's look at the map here. I moved from here to here. Left my girlfriend behind, but, you know, she was getting on my nerves, so. So I have 2 movement left on my sprint. I am going to move through this space, pick my girlfriend back up. She's going to follow me, and then I'm going to use my last movement to go to the dock, okay? You have your rule book out as well? That's so funny. Oh my god. Yes, please keep me on track. This game is ridiculous. I've already screwed it up, so this game, I'm considering it botched if I win, if we even get there, because I've already been streaming for like an hour and I'm like 2 turns in. If I win, I'm not going to count it because I didn't draw the event in the beginning, so we're just kind of playing for funsies. At this point, this is my first time streaming this game, so I appreciate you coming for the ride with me. I will get better at this. All right, we're out of movement, so my sprint card is going away. My improvised card is still active. I'm in the dock. I'm going to search the dock. Where is my hand? This is my hand. These are all the cards I have left. Okay. This is like the longest action phase ever. They probably should put a limit on how many actions you can play because I'm getting confused. And my stuff's getting crooked. All right, we are going to search in the dock. I have 3 dice because my girlfriend's amazing, and all 3s and 4s are successes. So we're gonna perform search. Search. 3 dice. All 3s and 4s are successes. Actually, do I have another focus? I don't. Okay, great. Bam! All 3s and 4s are successes, so we've got 3 stars again. Don't need them. Only need 2. Search. Take the top 2 item cards at your space and choose 1. Place the other on the top face up or underneath face down and lose a time. I'm still in this action phase. Oh my god, I have 9 time. All right, I'm gonna account for my time first so I don't forget, so I'm reducing my time. So somebody remember that I did this. By the way, Vampire Streams has failed to get a starting event. Really? That's hilarious. So the developers of this game have failed to put out a starting event. That makes me feel a lot better. It's crazy how much that like changes the outcome of the game. That was kind of ridiculous. Yeah, next time I will definitely look at the rules when I'm doing the setup to make sure I don't forget any steps. Take the top 2 item cards. We are at the dock. That's the one in the middle. So we get the lucky rabbit's foot, and we can look at the other card, decide what we want. Ooh, the axe. This is a 2-handed weapon that increases our damage by 2, and it's close range, obviously. So you have to be in the same space as the killer. I think I'm gonna take the axe, honestly. Like, I want to kind of just go after this guy. I do love the lucky rabbit's foot. But you have to discard it to get one of these actions. So, like, it's not, I mean, it's worth it, but it's kind of tough. So I can either place this on the top face up or underneath face down. If I put it on the bottom face down, do I then flip over the other card that's on the top? Because you're always supposed to have the top one flipped over, right? I think I'm just going to put it on the top anyway. We can come back for that if we want to. So I have the axe. This is a 2-handed weapon. I am putting it in my hands. I cannot hold anything else. That's pretty freaking cool. I like that. I do have another search card in my hand, so I can search again if I want to. And if I get another item, I have to put it in my backpack. That's a tough call. I mean, I might as well because I'm here and I have all these perks with my roll. But I don't know when I'm not going to want to be using my axe. But whatever, let's search. Maybe I'll see what else is in the deck if I even get a success here. So let's see what we get. All right, I have 1 partial success. All 3s and 4s are successes due to improvise, so that's 1. So I can basically, oh, I did spend my time. I can take the top item card. I guess I'll do that. I mean, I might as well. So I'm taking the rabbit's foot. It's going in my backpack. I spent 1 time doing that. I think you're supposed to flip over the top item card. I don't really know. Search is exhausted. I'm just gonna do it. I'll figure it out later what you're supposed to do with that. Okay. I don't need to play any more action cards. That was a lot. I think that's like a record. Okay. I'm gonna move on to the planning phase. So let's look at the tableau. What do we have here? So I have 7 time. So I gained a bunch and then I spent a little bit. And I have 3 cards, so I can fit like 7 cards in my hand, which is great. I have 7 time. I want to go after this killer. I am sick of this crap. Let's take... Ooh, I can get critical blow. Furious strike. Let's get critical blow. That costs 6. This does the most damage. Also reduces horror level if you can get the roll right. But you can also injure yourself if you don't get a good success rate. So we're going to take that. That is 6 time. That's going to leave me with 1. Oh, God. And I have 4 cards. I can fit 6 cards. What are my starter cards? 1, 2, 3. So these don't cost anything, so I'm taking those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have room for more cards. I have 1 time. I can buy a close call. I might as well do that. Okay, I have spent all of my time. I'm returning it to 6 because we're ending this phase. And then I am going to return the cards that I used last round to the tableau. We have Improvise. Focus is a 0 card, close call, focus, sprint, and my 2 searches. How did I screw this up already? All right. Girlfriend. Oh, God. Okay, planning phase is over. We're moving on to the next killer phase. He's just hanging out by the fire pit, man. Like, this killer is living his best life. All right, nobody to attack. You're supposed to keep it face down if not revealed by search. Okay, well, I'll flip it over. I wasn't sure how that worked. Items with no hands can be used from the backpack. Well, that's good to know. No hands can be used from the backpack. I totally believe you, but I want to read that because I don't remember reading that. I mean, it makes sense. If an item with 1 or more hand icons is in your backpack, it cannot be used until you have placed it in your hands. Okay, so it doesn't like explicitly say that you can use items, but it just says that the ones with hands can't be used unless they're in your hands. So I can still use the Lucky Rabbit's foot even if it's not in my hand. Good to know. I don't think I have been playing that way. So I don't have to put my axe down to use my Lucky Rabbit's foot. I guess it makes sense because you're not really using a Lucky Rabbit's foot. Like the fact that you're carrying it on you is just supposed to bring you luck, right? Okay. Killer phase. Terror card. That girl, what's her name? She can help us. Oh God, place 2 new victims. I don't want any more victims. In the space where you started the game, the final girl. Where did I start? I was over here. So they're showing up. And we're going to increase the horror level because why not? And then we're going to draw an event. Ugh. Vengeance. I don't know why I pissed it off and I don't care. Just save me. The victim farthest from the killer is now the damned. I hate the damned. Victim farthest from the killer. All right, help me out here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I mean, they're really the same. Let's change. I'll do these guys because they're also farther from the final girl, so we'll make that fair. Middle. Oh shoot. Yeah, you're right. The makeout point is definitely farthest, right? Because you have to go all the way around to get there. All right. So one of these kids that have been making out this entire time. You're now the damned because that's what you get. That's one of the rules in a horror movie, right? You can't, if you, what's the word? Fornicate. You get killed. Now the damned. Whenever the killer must choose a target, the damned is chosen instead. The damned can only be saved if it is the last victim alive. If the damned dies, +2. Bloodlust. Great. Love it. This game is going to take like 5 hours. Hope you guys are buckled in. That is the end of that killer phase. Panic phase, nobody died. Upkeep phase, apparently I don't need to rearrange my equipment. We're gonna go in the action phase. Where am I? Okay, I'm at the dock. What do I have for cards? I need to move. Gross. Okay. Let's go for a walk. Let's look at the whole picture here while we do this. All right. So, I have an extra dice because I have my girlfriend. And we don't have the improvise anymore, so we're on our own as far as that's concerned. But I do have a close call, and I've got cards I can probably discard if I need to. So we are going to walk towards the killer with my girlfriend because that seems like a good idea. So now his priority, you have it. Yeah, the damned is priority. It's kind of crazy. I've gotten that card a couple times before. Yeah, complicated stuff. All right, I'm rolling my 3 dice. I got 1 partial success. I can use close call to re-roll, or I can discard some cards. I think I'm going to use close call. I'll re-roll the whole thing. It's fine. I just want to walk, man. Okay, that's a little bit better. I got 1 star and 1 partial success. So with 1 star, I can move up to 1 space. Oh my god. Costs 2 time. I don't know why I always forget that re-rolling costs time. Thank you. Okay, so with walk, 1 success, I get to move up to 1 space. If I want to discard 2 cards, I can switch the other one. And I lose time when I walk, so I will not forget to do that. Do I want to discard and... no, not really. So I'm going to take the 1 space. I never reset my time. Wait, no, I did. I spent the time for the close call. Jeez. All right. We're going to spend 1 time to walk 1 space. Let's go. Come on. Okay. So we moved 1 space. I still kind of want to just go attack the killer because I'm over this. So I'm going to walk again. Hopefully I don't trip over anything. Still get 3 dice because girlfriend is with me. If she dies while she's in my space... See, this is like what's such a gamble about the girlfriend. So like if I move into the killer space, if I bring her, I get an extra dice on my roll. But if the killer attacks her and she dies, we're screwed. So I might not bring her with me. She's still pretty close by. All right, so I'm going to use my 3 dice to do my walk. Two partial successes. I need to discard a card to make it a success. If I want to be able to move, or I can just lose 2 time. I have to lose 1 anyway. But I don't want to lose any health. I'm gonna discard my... Doing this, ignoring all victims until the... It's ignoring all victims. Must choose a target. Yeah, I think you're right. So even if the girlfriend and I are in the killer's space, when he attacks, he's gonna target. See, but like what's weird about Hans is like he doesn't move. So like when you resolve his killer action, he targets someone and then attacks. So like obviously if he moves, he's going to move towards the damned, but like if he's in a space and all he's doing is attacking, like would he still not just attack whatever victims in his space? I don't like some of the ambiguities. Playing Planning guard. I don't want to get rid of my guard card. I think I'm going to discard weak attack and short rest to make 1 success for my walk. I'm going to move 1 space. She would die in the killer phase. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Okay, I agree. So I'm going to move 1 space. I'm not going to bring the girlfriend. I'm going to lose 1 time. I'm going to discard that walk card. Okay. I'm in the space with the killer. I'm still in my action phase. I'm losing a dice because I did not bring the girlfriend. Okay. So now, I'm going to use critical blow. Maybe. We're going to see how the dice roll goes. Actually, no, you know what? Screw that. I'm going to do planning first. And then we're going to do critical blow. So with planning, I'm going to roll 2 dice. And see what we get. Oh God. Okay, that's not good. That's not good. Not good. I'm not going to discard anything. You can't really see my dice. I got 2 partial successes. So if I fail the planning, I can still add 1 dice to my next roll, but we're increasing the horror level by 1, which is actually not that bad. And then we're losing 2 time. Oh God. So I'm out of time, but my turn is not over yet. My time meter is on 0. If it goes below 0, your turn ends. Ooh. Okay. So we used my planning card. I get an additional die for the next horror roll. I did not understand what this card meant for like the longest time. Okay, so I'm getting 3. I forgot about the rabbit's foot. Okay, so I'm not going to use it right now, but I want to know what it does. Discard it during the action phase to make a horror roll. For each star, choose one of the following. Okay, cool. So I'm going to keep that in mind for my next roll that's upcoming. If I discard it, if I get stars, if I discard it, I can gain 2 time, gain a health, which I'm still at max health, reduce the horror level, or move 1 space. Okay, so remind me that I have a rabbit foot. What I would have done first when I was with girlfriend is do foot with her. Yeah, or like the planning card, I could maybe use her for that too. Yeah, there's a lot of options going on with this stuff right now. Okay, so I have planning. I have 3 dice, and I've never had this girlfriend thing before, so like I'm just totally not used to that at all. That's a weird, I don't know if I like it. Like, it's useful, but it kind of freaks me out. Okay, this is also like the longest action phase ever. Oh my God. So we're doing critical blow. I have 3 dice because of planning. So next horror roll only, I get 1 extra dice. Critical blow. Let's roll the dice and just see what happens. Oh my God, you have got to be kidding me. Nothing. Double-sided sword. Yeah. Okay, so this is interesting. So we did critical blow. No success, but it's okay. I deal 2 damage. I take 2 damage. And we increase the horror level, and my turn is going to end. So I'm dealing 2 damage, but I have an axe. My axe, shiny axe, that is going to deal 2 additional damage. So I'm dealing 4 damage to our friend Hans here. So I'm just going to do that. Critical blow, and then my turn's ending. Okay, so Hans, we're taking this token off of his minor dark power. I do 4. Yep, I'm doing 4 damage because I have the axe. Perfect. When these get cleared, this minor dark power goes away. Goodbye. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so he is down to, what's 12 minus 4? 8 HP. Let's see. Okay. So that's it. This is crazy. All right, I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't need that anymore. Let's zoom out. Hydrate. All right, planning phase. I don't have any time, so I can't buy anything. So we're gonna reset the tableau. So my time goes back up to 6, and we're gonna put these back. Oh, wait a minute. I can still buy my cards that don't cost anything. Free stuff. There is free stuff. We've got 2 focuses. So I will take those, add those to my hand. I have a guard card still that I didn't use. Okay, cool. Planning phase is over. This is wild. All right, we're going into the killer phase. Let's see what Hans is up to. Hans, he's been injured. I'm surprised his bloodlust is still that low. Hopefully I've been increasing it appropriately. Kind of feels like it should be higher because there's been so much going on in this game so far. Okay, killer phase. So he's going to target either a victim or the final girl. He is in the space with the final girl, so I am going to assume that he is going to target me, even though the damned is in play. So I'm going to let him attack me. We got rid of his minor dark power, so based on his bloodlust, his attack right now is 2. So he's going to attack me. And that's because of his killer action. So we're in phase 1 of the killer phase. I can use my guard card. He's going to deal 2 damage to me. So this is like, oh, this is guard, not retaliate. If you have retaliate and you have like a weapon that does more damage, that increases the damage on your retaliate too, right? I think. But we're not doing retaliate. I have guard. So I can block damage from him if I get a good roll. So he's going to deal 2 damage. I have 2 dice because I didn't bring my stupid girlfriend. So we're going to roll 2 dice for guard and see what we can get. Okay, I could tell that was a star and it was just spinning for like way too long. So we got a 1 success, so we're gonna reduce damage by 2, which is totally fine because he's only dealing 2 damage right now. So we're essentially blocking all damage on guard. So thank you for that. Yes, unless the item says anything. Okay, good. Beautiful. Now we're going to draw a terror card, and hopefully he doesn't attack me again. He just came out of nowhere. Place Hans with the farthest target possible. Probably the damned, because the reason they became the damned was because they were farthest in the first place. So I'm going to put him over there. Let's take a closer look. Hans is hanging out with the damned and the damned's makeout partner. We're going to increase the horror level. Spooky. So that's up to 5 now. And then we get to draw another terror card. Lucky me. This one says he wants fresh blood. If there are no victims on the board, well, there are. So we're going to target a victim, move twice, and attack once. I don't really need to move because I'm already here. I'm already with the damned. So we're targeting a victim. We're targeting the damned. Moving, attacking. So we're attacking the damned, which means they're going to die. If the damned dies, die. Look at all these dead meeples. Look at them all. All these people over here are dead. Bye-bye, yes. If the damned dies, increase the bloodlust by 2. That's what I get for saying that the bloodlust is too low. All right, so our bloodlust level. Difficulty ramp up. Yeah, great. Bloodlust is... Okay, why? Okay, we're going to do this sequentially. Bloodlust increased by 2. First increase, we're going to increase the horror level. Give me the board. Oh God. We're getting up there, people. Look at this. We're almost in the red. All right. Second increase of the bloodlust. That's 3. Wait, why is it 3? Oh, is it like +2 on top of the 1? That's disgusting. Okay, so second bloodlust, we're revealing the dark power. I don't want to do it, but we have to. Blood frenzy, dark power. For every victim Hans kills, +1 bloodlust. So the worst thing about Hans is when his bloodlust meter gets full, every time you gain a bloodlust, he recovers health. And he has 12 health max. So when you get to the top of his bloodlust meter, he's basically invincible because he's just constantly regenerating. Okay, so we need to increase it by 1 more, right? Here we go. Doesn't really change anything. So that's great. So his attack power is now 3, his movement is 2. He's got epic dark power of blood frenzy. Damned is gone. So I'm going to discard this card. Which reminds me of the other event. Oh, next turn dark power activates, not right now. Yes, I have not applied the dark power to this turn. So on the next turn, any victim he kills will add an additional bloodlust. But I've just realized that we still have, you can't see it, I'll move it into the frame. Star-Crossed Lovers is still in play. And I think this applies. When exactly 2 victims are in a space and one of them is killed, the other immediately dies as well. So we just killed the damned. There's another victim in this space. So based on Star-Crossed Lovers, that victim needs to die as well. I'm not liking this set of circumstances. I have not had this killer be this complicated. You have 1... dice. Not yet. When exactly 2 victims are in a space and one of them is killed, the other immediately dies as well. Well, I will. Yeah, so I'm going to kill this victim because of that, which means our bloodlust is going to go up again. Now our horror level goes up. We're in the red. I'm now down to 1 dice, so that's that. Next time the horror level increases, let me show you the horror level. So this is very bad. Next time the horror level increases, we just gain a bloodlust. There's nowhere else for me to go. Right? Like, this is crazy. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. Very bad. All right, Damned is getting discarded. That is what reminded me that I have the Star-Crossed Lovers in effect. Where's my girlfriend? Okay. I'm gonna need her back. So that was the killer phase. I don't need to do the panic phase because there's no more victims left in this space. We killed them. Upkeep phase. I don't really need to do anything. Okay. Yikes. All right. Hopefully I have this room for like eternity because this game is going to take forever. You might want to do a walk, then the rabbit foot with the girl for focus. Yeah, let's take a look at what cards I have. All I have is focus. So I can't even get to my girlfriend. When did I use the guard card? That's in my discard pile, and I definitely didn't use it this last killer phase, so I feel like that needs to be returned, but whatever. All right, we're in the action phase. I've got focus. I can't move. I'm just going to do focus. I only have 1 dice. Oh my god. At least he's far away. He is far away, but now that Damned is dead, he doesn't have a specific target. Okay. I'm just going to roll my dice and see what happens here for focus. You use it to block him last turn. Okay, that last turn was like too long. I don't even remember what the hell happened. Oh, that's right. I did it during the resolving the killer action. All right, we're rolling. Oh, that was really awkward. Crap. Nothing. Lose 2 time. I'm gonna try again with my other focus card. Come on. Man, having 1 dice sucks. All right, whatever. So we're going right to the planning phase. I have 2 time left. I can purchase action cards. I'm taking all of my freebies. All 4 of them that are left. 2. So I have walk, weak attack, short rest, and walk. I still haven't lost any HP somehow. Maybe I'll take... Oh, God. I have 2. So I can take guard or sprint. I really feel like he's not going to be able to attack me in the next turn unless something crazy happens, because we're literally like as far away as we could possibly be. I would love to save a victim. I really want to lower the horror level though. I cannot afford anything that will do that. I'm going to take... I could also take some close calls, because I still have 2 walks. I don't have a search. I don't need to search. I really need to reduce the horror level. Holy shit. I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna take a sprint. Distraction is 3. I know, I would love to get distraction. I only have 2, so I can't afford it. Which sucks. So I'm thinking about either taking sprint or guard. I'm gonna be doing a lot of walking. I think my next turn might just be trying to focus on saving victims. The problem with walking and sprinting is I can also hurt myself if I fail, and I only have 1 dice. Unless I can get my girlfriend. If I can get my girlfriend, well, everything will be better. We're gonna get sprint. Screw it. I'm gonna reset my time to 6 and return my tableau. Focus and guard. All right, that was messy. Planning phase is over. Killer phase. Resolve killer action, target attack, nobody nearby. So we're gonna draw a terror card. Let's zoom in on Hans, see how he's doing. He's freaking out. He just keeps coming. He's going to target, move, and attack. All right, who do we want to target? Who's closest? We are so far away from everybody. 1, oh God, I forgot he can swim. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these fools that showed up late to the party are technically closest. So he is going to move towards them. He has 1 movement on the card. His movement speed right now is 2. So he gets to move 2 spaces. That's not bad. Like, Hans does not move very far. So he's gonna move 2 spaces. He's gonna go towards these fools. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, it's the same distance between them and the girlfriend if he goes into the lake. I don't know. It's, yeah, whatever. 1, 2. I'm gonna have him go there. I think that's fair because he's gonna target these guys. He could target the girlfriend, but I don't know what the hierarchy is there. All right, so he can't attack anybody. He didn't get there in time, which is fine. So I'm gonna move forward to the panic phase. Nobody's panicking, nobody killed. Upkeep phase, I don't need to rearrange anything. So we're going back into the next action phase. This is crazy. All right, so my action cards, I'm basically walking around. I'm gonna use walk first because it's less risky than sprint. If sprint fails, you get hurt, your turn ends. It's not pretty. She's not very good at running. So we're gonna walk with our 1 die, and hopefully catch up to the girlfriend so she can give us some better luck here. So I'm rolling on walk. Oh my god, we got a 6. Thank you so much. Success. 1 success, I get to move up to 1 space and lose 1 time. I am moving into the space with the girlfriend, losing a time, gaining a dice. Thank you, girlfriend. I don't like this. I'm gonna walk again. I have 2 dice. Hee hee. 2 stars? Oh my god, luckiest girlfriend ever. Move up to 2 spaces and lose a time. So I'm gonna lose my time, and now we're gonna choose how we're gonna move. I'm going to move towards the exit space. I am not going to rescue the girlfriend because I need her extra dice. But I am going to use my second movement space to go into this space with these other victims. So now we've got a nice little party happening. I am going to use sprint foot. The rabbit's foot, you're right. I did roll a star, so I can discard the rabbit foot. Oh, this is hard. I don't care about time right now. I don't need to do any health. What I'm torn between is lowering the horror level or moving an additional space. If I move an additional space, I can save victims, but I would really so love to reduce the horror level. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Good call. So if we take a look at my items, so my lucky rabbit's foot, if I roll a star, which I did, I can discard this and get 1. I don't know why this is so difficult for me. Get 1 of these. Oh, wait a minute. Oh my god, it's for each star, choose one of the following, and I rolled 2 stars. So I get to do 2 of these things. This is like the most amazing thing. I can't wrap my head around this. And to think I almost didn't pick this up. All right, this person, we need to like get an accolade because they're like really, you're really like the one who's playing this game at this point. Okay, for each star, choose one of the following. I am choosing to reduce the horror level. Goodbye. Give me that. And then we're going to move a space. So this gets discarded. I'm going to stick that somewhere. Put it on the bottom. I don't know if that counts. Are you supposed to just like straight up discard it? Yeah, I'll just chuck it somewhere. Trash. I'm moving a space. I'm going to move. Where's my map? I'm going to move from here to here. I'm taking 2 victims with me. Sorry, girlfriend, you're going to stay there for now. I'm saving these 2 victims. This is amazing. We have had a change in luck. I still don't need to recover any health. I am amazed that I haven't lost a single health during this entire adventure. Anyway, I can move 1 space. I think I'm gonna do that and go back to where my girlfriend is. With my other victim, I can either take an action card max 2 time or just increase my time by 2. I'm gonna increase my time by 2, which is gonna bring me up to 6. Okay. Show me the board. I'm still in my action phase. This is crazy. Use the girlfriend move on card to get girlfriend back. Yes. Yes. Okay, good. Cool. We are on the same page now. So I'm still in my action phase. I can play some more actions. I have sprint, weak attack, and short rest. I can run towards the killer and weak attack him if I want to do that. This is so sketchy. I think I might do that because I'm just like full of rage at this point. I'm gonna do sprint. I have 3 dice because based on the horror level we have 2 plus girlfriend I get 1 extra dice. Sprinting. Coming for you, Hans. All right, I got 1 star, which is fine. I get to move up to 2 spaces. Oh no, I'm gonna lose a time and I really wanted to get critical blow. But it's okay, maybe I'll just get furious strike instead because I won't be able to afford it. I totally forgot you can discard cards to get time. Save time for next turn so you can do more damage, like get guards and attacks. Yeah, I have weak attack. I don't really need short rest. No, here's what I'm gonna do. So I did sprint. I'm moving 2 spaces. I'm losing 1 time. I'm moving my 2 spaces. Wait, is it 2? Ew. I'm so confused right now. I'm gonna leave her there. I'm gonna move 2 spaces. I lost my time. That's my sprint. You can discard cards to buy more time. I'm in the space with the killer. Move to killer, get retaliate. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I am going to discard my short rest card to gain a time. I totally forgot about that, and the rule book actually says something about like don't underestimate this strategy, and I like never use it. I want to just see where it talks about that. Gaining, losing time. At any point before the action phase ends, you may discard as many action cards as you wish in exchange for +1 time each. Gaining time in this way would allow you to extend the phase, true, or give you more time to spend during the planning phase. Critical. Do not underestimate the importance of this tactic. Noted. All right, so I did that, so I'm back up to 6 time. This is nuts, you guys. I'm still in my action phase. I'm in the space with the killer. I am going to use my weak attack. I only have 2 dice because I did not bring the girlfriend. But I have my axe, so I get 2 extra damage. So I'm going to roll this and hopefully get something decent. No, we did not. That's okay. I just ended up hurting myself, so we're gonna lose a health token, and my turn's over. Great, cool, good job, Lori. Do I lose time? No, I don't. Okay. Planning phase. That was like a total buzzkill. Yes, I have 6 time. I'm going to get retaliate and guard, or do I want to do something else with my other 2? Burp, 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 burp. Meh. Retaliate and guard. Why not? That spent all my time. I'm going to return this to 6, and we're going to return our cards to our tableau. Oh wait, I can buy my freebies. Okay. Sprint, walk, walk. Okay. Hydrate. Okay. Planning phase is over. We're going to the killer phase. He is resolving his killer action, which is attacking me because I'm in his spot, right? So he is going to do 3 damage. Let's zoom in here based on his killer board. I am going to use retaliate. And again, I asked this question earlier, but I think I know the answer. So when I retaliate, I'm still using my axe to increase the damage that I'm dealing back, right? If we get there, I think is the way that works. Okay, perfect. So retaliate. We're gonna see how this goes. I have 2 dice. God damn. Nothing happens. Nothing. Look at this. You didn't see my die roll, but look. But at least I don't hurt myself. So this is my question. It's not really a question, but I still have a guard. Killer does, though. Does what? Hurt me? Oh, yes, definitely. I still have my guard card, though. Can I still play it, or can I only do one reaction at a time? I think I can still do this, which seems kind of weird. But I think I'm going to go for it. I could save it for the terror card, but... Ugh. So we're going to play guard. God. It's okay. I didn't get anything, but I still get to reduce damage by 1 to a minimum of 1. So if he's only dealing 1 damage, you still take it. But he's dealing 3. I'm reducing by 1, and so he's going to do 2. I should have just used this card first and saved my retaliate. So he's dealing 2 damage. I'm taking 2 damage. I'm trying to, like, keep track of stuff. Okay, so I'm taking 2 damage, so I have 1 heart left. I'm trying to remember if the last victim he killed, if I did his epic dark power where every victim he kills gets an extra bloodlust. I can't remember when the last victim was killed. I think it was before the dark power was activated. All right, fascinating. So that was the resolve killer action. We still have to draw a terror card. This is so wild. Okay. What do we got? Maybe things are starting to go our way. I love this card. Draw the top card of any item deck. What do we got for items? First aid kit. That looks really appealing. Every time you use an action card to recover health, recover an additional health. We also have the map, which I can discard. I didn't really understand this one when I read it earlier. Discard during the action phase, and then for each deck of item cards, do one of the following. So there's still 3 decks. So if the top card is face down, reveal it. If the top card is face up, you may remove it from the game. So you're basically just changing the cards on the item decks. No, because dark power started this turn. Okay, cool, thanks. I don't care about the map. I really don't. I can also draw the middle one, but I don't want to do that either. I think I'm going to take the first aid kit. That does require a hand, so I will need to swap my stuff around if I want to use the first aid kit, but I'll show you what that looks like. First aid kit. Step 1, stop the bleeding. Step 2, stay alive. Great advice. That is going to go in my backpack. Can't use it. It requires hands. I have to put down my axe before we can use that. So that was the killer phase because that was a terror card. Kind of weird that a terror card gave me a free item, but whatever, we'll take it. Okay, so now we're going into the panic phase. Nobody's panicking. Upkeep phase. I have to think about this because the upkeep phase is where we're going to rearrange our equipment. So I can equip the first aid kit now if I want to. There kind of isn't a point because my next action phase, I don't have any healing cards. The first aid kit will add an additional health if I heal myself. I don't have any way of healing myself during the next action phase. We'll go into a planning phase, but I can't use those cards next turn, and then we're going into another killer phase. I think I'd rather keep my axe equipped for the next killer phase, because during my planning phase, I can buy another guard or something like that. I'll keep my axe equipped so I can have more damage when the killer attacks me. After this next phase, when I get some healing action cards back, I will rearrange my items so I can use the first aid kit on the next turn if I survive. But I don't see a way that I can heal myself between now and then. So I don't think it's worth it to change the items at this point. So we're going to go into the next action phase, which is me. I still have 2 dice. Somehow. I have 2 focus cards. That's all I have. I haven't had a lot of cards in my hand the last couple turns. I don't like it. I used a lot in the beginning, and now it's just getting more difficult. So I'm just going to do focus and see if we can keep this horror level down a little bit. And then we'll go into the next killer phase. I'm probably going to die soon. So let's roll on focus, 2 dice. I got 2 partial successes. I do not have 2 cards to discard, so we're not going to do anything besides lose 2 time. Discard that. I didn't... Alright, whatever. We're going to do the other one. 1 star! Alright, so that goes down by 1. And then I lose time. Why is my time at 4? Did I just not reset it last time? I think I didn't reset it last time. So we're going to say it's at 4. I don't know, man. All right, that was my action phase. We're going into my planning phase. I'm going to take all my freebies. Let's say I have 4 time. Kind of starting to lose track here. I will get, what do we have? I have walk, weak attack, short rest, like that. I do want to get guard, so that's 2 time. And then, shoot. I really want distraction. I hate that it costs 3. That's so annoying. Although I can discard a card. I'm not really trying to walk anywhere. I'm going to discard one of my walks. Oh no, you have to do that during the action phase. Can I back up? You lost 2 from first turn and then 1 from second focus. First, and then 1 from focus. Oh, okay. So I had 4, so if I bought guard, then I only have 2. I forgot about that. Okay, so I still have 2 time though, right? This is craziness. Yeah, you're supposed to discard cards to gain time during the action phase, so technically I can't do that. I will use my 2 time to buy the 2 close calls. Crap. So that gets reset to 6. These get returned to the tableau. I'm not liking this. Okay. I could have got walk so that I can get my girlfriend. We'll try to do that next turn, I guess. If I survive, I might not make it. But at least the girlfriend's still alive. She didn't die, so that's pretty cool. All right, I'm going to move on to the killer phase. So, resolve killer action. He's going to target me. He's going to attack. He's still doing 3 damage. I did buy guard. I didn't buy retaliate. I don't really know why. Oh, it wasn't available. I used it last turn. Fudge. Okay, we're going to do guard. So Hans is trying to deal me 3 damage. I'm going to do guard. I have 2 dice. He's doing 3 damage. I don't really... I got 1 star and 1 partial success. I'm trying to decide if I want to discard to change the partial success. Yeah, I don't... No, I'm going to use one of my close calls and re-roll the partial success and see if I can get a star. That sounds like a dumb idea, but... Because if I don't get anything, then I should just discard. But whatever, I'll take the chance. Why not? What? 2 stars. Love it. All right, guard. I'm ignoring all damage. Screw you. But he still gets to draw a terror card, so I could still very well die. What do we got? He wants me. He's always wanted me. He's going to target the final girl, move, not necessary. I'm in your space, and then he's going to attack me again. So he's dealing 3 damage. I do not have any more guards or retaliates or anything like that. So he is going to wipe me out for the time being. So in this case, he's going to take all these hearts, and now because there's damage remaining, I always forget how this works. So I think, is it because there's damage still to be dealt, I reveal the final token? I'm gonna read it because this part always freaks me out, and this is why sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I won or not. Obviously I'm gonna die here, but whenever you take damage, normal health markers are removed equal to the amount of damage. When no normal health markers are left and there remains damage to be applied, their final health token is revealed. Okay, so I do need to flip it over. If it's blank, you're dead. If it isn't blank, you come back to life in classic horror movie fashion. Flip if hearts get heart and killer phase. What do you guys think is gonna happen? Did you see that? Look at. Where am I? Rip. I died. Yeah. Womp womp. Okay. So that's Final Girl. We didn't make it. I don't know what's going to happen to the rest of these victims because the killer's still on the loose and there's nobody left to flip his for fun. Yeah, screw you, Hans. You suck. Girlfriend's pretty close to the exit, so I think she's got pretty good chances, which is great. She was very helpful. Thanks, girlfriend. Yeah, that was kind of crazy. I haven't played Hans in a while. He was the first one that I got. He came with the starter kit, so I played him a lot in the beginning before I moved on to Dr. Fright. That was weird. Yeah, this game is so different every time I play it. See if his token has hearts. Let's see. No, it didn't. So if I had gotten through all of this, he would have died too, but that was a tall ask. And I even had the axe and had extra damage and still didn't get enough opportunities to attack him. I had some really crappy rolls in this game too. Like there were multiple times that I just got snake eyes. The horror level got really high too, which was not good. I think I should have probably taken the girlfriend with me more to use her extra dice because of how high the horror level was. Yeah, so that played out differently than I've kind of had it happen before. So that was really interesting. So I don't know. Feels kind of weird. I obviously didn't win, which is fine. This is one of those games that's not like super easy to win, I feel like, which is fine. Like that's the point of it, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, this is my first time streaming this game. I would probably do this again at some point, maybe with one of the other killers. But I think it worked out well. The setup seems to be okay. Really, really so appreciate. I'm going to try to read your name from all the way over here. I think it's Drago Dude 626. I don't see an N in there, so I don't think it's Dragon Dude. Drago Dude 626, thank you so much for keeping me on my toes, checking the rules for me, sharing your expertise. Sounds like you've played this game a lot. Really appreciate you joining my stream. Hopefully I'll get to do this again soon at some point. Really appreciate it. Look forward to playing with some more killers and hopefully doing a better job. I think I've probably won this game twice now out of like maybe 15 or so times playing it. So yeah, Red, thank you again so much. Really appreciate it. Hope you all have a wonderful evening, and stay spooky.